And we're seeing these replayed for the first time, so you can see the reactions from some of the Argentina players. Not great to see.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise you. It doesn't surprise me. I think we've seen this with Argentina before, and it's just not the reaction you want. You know, we've seen some of the reaction after knocking England out in the last round as well, and I think Edson Fernandez has got what he deserves as well. So it's disappointing, but that's just sad. If you lose a game of football, be graceful and get out of there. That's really poor from them.
When you play at the tempo they play, obviously, you know, we expect physicality from them, but when the final whistle goes in a World Cup final, you've got to have more class than that.
Disgusting. There was one man on the pitch who did have class, and that was Lionel Messi. Shook hands of every one of those Spanish players. The game's done. They could have absolutely no complaints about what happened today. Disgusting behaviour. Rodri, I don't think, needed to get in their faces, but when you've been wound up for 120 minutes and you felt you've been wronged and you felt the referee's on your back and you've got that win, referee's blown his whistle, leave it. And I think Argentina, are you surprised they've gone over the line again?
Yeah, Joe hit the nail on the head. It's quite embarrassing, really, because for all I give Argentina that praise in terms of how they approach the game. Yes, they know Spain are a better team on the ball, but what can they do to disrupt them off the ball? And in the game, there was just on the cusp every single time. For the first yellow card was until 40-odd minutes in the first half. But seeing that sort of stuff after the game's been played and someone's just been crowned World Cup champions, it's not good enough. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest, because that's Paredes there. He doesn't need to do that. He's better than that, you know? And he doesn't stop there. He keeps going and going and going. And we all know what it's like to lose a game. We can be very frustrated. We understand that. But this is not good enough. It's not a good look at all.
That's a reaction to them being outplayed, outthought on the football pitch, and then they resorted to that at the end. So it's sad, it's poor from the Argentine players.
Huge frustration spilling over. But for Spain, let's focus on the positive, because an incredible tournament. To concede one goal through a whole tournament has been a marvellous defensive display from them, but also in attack, and the possession-based football they play is so attractive.
They try to get me, but they get in.
Never rattled, never under pressure. That was as much as it got after the final whistle, after they got the World Cup, because they haven't nibbled once.
Yes,
they kept playing beautiful football the whole entire time, and they fully, like I say, fully deserve this with a great team effort.
Luis de la Fuente has now won the Euros and the World Cup with this side. He's actually taken
they
quite
actually
a few
shut
of
down
this
my
side
stream,
through
but
the
we go
age
back
groups,
up.
under 19, under 21. He's a career international
absolutely nobody.
manager, and he's created something very, very special.
He has, and a lot of these Spanish players have grew up and come through the system together, so to be able to enjoy these moments, the European Championships 2 years ago, now the World Cup, we've seen it at the end there with Yamal and Williams sat on the pitch. They're lying there taking it in, you know, just looking, thinking like, what has happened? They've won both the Euros and the World Cup. Yamal at 19. So these are just special moments and memories which these players will take with them forever.
They're singing Viva España just in front of us here. I thought it was only us who sang that. I didn't realise Spaniards actually sang it, but the scenes below us, the Spanish fans, they've had to be very patient, haven't they, through this match?
They have, and they've been massively outnumbered here today, but they showed their support for their team. And just to touch on Lamine Yamal at 19 years old, we looked at him before the game, 5 chains on his confidence, the way that he's doing this world. Everyone will be trying to get on his back. Everyone will be trying to hit on him. He's sat there with a European medal and a World Cup. What a beautiful, beautiful day for that young man. I'm so pleased for him. 19 years old.
He was 19 just a week ago, and he burst to life for us, didn't he, at the Euros?
Not burst into life, he burst on the seat gaps.
Well, we know he burst into life 19 years ago because we've seen him as a baby, of course, with Lionel Messi, and that handing over, if you like, of the baton. You know, we've seen Ronaldo depart potentially the international stage in this tournament. Who knows whether this will be the end for Messi, but when there is talent like Lamine Yamal, the game is in rude health.
We call him Lamine the Dream, don't we? And I mean, Mbappe's been sensational. we do. And Mbappe's been phenomenal at this tournament too. But in terms of winning the Euros and the World Cup at 19, and coming into the tournament with an injury, a hamstring injury as well, and just growing into the tournament. And it was difficult for him today. Tagliafico was really tight to him, and the thing I liked about him most, he didn't react,
so they can't take it off.
because he was trying to get into his head, and you know what the game could have been like if he would have reacted, try to get him sent off, and he was just so calm. For someone at 19 to show that composure and be that good on the ball, he's an absolute superstar.
Physically still growing as well. Not only did he not react, he stood up to it. He wasn't rattled, he didn't back down, he had the whole entire team trying to smash him. He just kept so cool, kept his head, kept trying to have those big moments. A real standout performance from him today.
But what about the Spanish team is Yamal has had a difficult tournament. He hasn't been, at his best what we've seen over the last couple of years. But then the subs which they've made, Moreno, Torres coming on today, winning goal, Olmo's being in out the team. The manager deserves a lot of credit for what he's built at this team.
Yeah, and what he has built here is incredible team spirit. And a lot was made, actually, that there were no Real Madrid players in this team and in this squad when he selected the squad. Obviously, there is now, because Cucurella has of course moved from Chelsea to Real Madrid. But there is clearly a plethora of stars, huge stars in this squad. But they work together.
Yeah, I think the squad's got a really good balance. It's got some experience, a lot of youth. But they've got players who've grown up through the system together. They know each other's game inside out, and that's shown. The winners as well. They won the Euros 2 years ago. They've had a big advantage knowing how to win a major competition, and I think that showed as well in the game today.
Well, you've been talking about Olmo all tournament. You've been talking about goalkeepers. Can we talk about Kubasi at the back?
Do you think he's a contender for the young player of the
100%.
tournament?
He's outstanding. When he plays in Barcelona, at times they play very high, and it's difficult. He gets exposed in behind. But in this team, the leadership, the composure he shows, he stands up to everything. 19, conceded 1 goal in the whole competition. It's outrageous. When I see these sort of players, for the future, like you said, Olmo's been excellent. Nico Williams coming on the left-hand side. Yamal, the future looks so great for Spain.
Shall we have a look then at the goal that has won Spain the World Cup? And while it will go down as obviously Ferran Torres' brilliant goal, Williams involved in terms of keeping the ball alive.
Yeah, it was, and this is from the kick-off of extra time. And then the ball goes back to Simon, and Argentina's not really rushed to.
All right, boys, you joining me. I'm going to bounce, relax, and get some sleep. Take care now.
And then, Messi, obviously, they're playing a 4-4. Messi's not really helping out
that follow
defensively.
bird.
So then the ball goes forward.